Colonial News reporting from New York City, where we are hearing an uproar from citizens who have just learned of a new Stamp Act.
Representation.
What do y'all think of the Stamp Act?
No taxation without representation.
Hey, who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
Nobody. I just don't feel like writing.
What's your view on the Stamp Act, sir?
Well, I think that we all come from Britain, so we should abide by their laws.
Can you repeat that?
Huh?
I think we should abide by their laws.
Traitor! Feather him.
And cool hat. And now for a commercial break. Enjoy this commercial.
Hello, sir. I would like to enlist in the Continental Army.
You want to protect the freedom of your friends and family.
Sir, yes, sir.
You wish to protect this country and everything that it stands for.
Sir, yes, sir.
You want to ensure the success of these American colonies for future generations.
Sir, yes, sir.
Very good, very good. And one more thing.
In 1773, I'm live at the Boston Harbor, where it seems like the Indians are dumping tea. As you can see, he's angered because of the taxation that the British put upon the American colonies. He's dumping British tea. And they seem to be very angered. Colonists are watching the Indian dump the tea. See the tea.
Cheating the American people. They have given a monopoly for tea sales to their very own British East India Company, thus reducing the price of tea. However, shoving the tea tax down our throats. We Americans must regard the principle more important than the price.
Purchasing our local fine tea not only keeps your principle intact, but also gives you the same savory flavor as the tax-tainted British tea. British East India Company and the British trickery.
Drink the tea of liberty. Drink American tea.
Welcome back to the show. Revolutionary leader Samuel Adams and Prime Minister George Grenville have agreed to take a quick break from the events of the war and take some time to participate in our very first on-screen debate. Here's how it's going to work. I'll introduce a topic, and you two will take turns expressing your opinions on the matter. Obviously, most of them will deal with the revolution. Here we go. First topic, the Stamp Act. You imposed this in 1765, Grenville. Is this act just? Why?
We, the British, went to extraordinary lengths and costs to defend our colonies from the French and Indians. All thanks to you, we were victorious, but this war we fought largely for you gave us a terrible debt. The least you and your ungrateful countrymen can do is do your fair share and help pay back some of the expenses of war.
I have but one thing to say. No taxation without representation. Your parliament is putting these burdens on us without our being able to express our own opinion. You are strangling our pocketbooks and striking down our rights, not just with the Stamp Act, but also with the Navigation Laws, the Quartering Act, and the Sugar Act. Do not be surprised that we stood up and refused to be subject to tyranny any longer.
You say this, yet our own people deny proper representation for backcountry pioneers. Each member of parliament represents all of the British Empire, including the American colonies. You are virtually represented.
What absolute rubbish! Most of Parliament knows nothing of America. How can they represent our needs? Your Parliament is miles away and holds no authority over us whatsoever.
The power of Parliament is supreme and undivided. As member of the British Empire, the colonies are subject to the British Parliament's decisions. Your work should be for the good of the British Empire. Collectively, your colonists are acting like a spoiled and disrespectful child.
What you fail to recognize is that all children must grow up and become independent. We have the right to trade with whomever we please and the right to deny vulgar lobsterback sanctuary in our homes. Collectively, your empire is acting like a mother trying to cling to her grown child.
That's a deplorable analogy.
You are the one that created it.
I'll introduce a new topic now. You have debated on the various causes of the revolution, such as virtual representation, mercantilism, and taxation. Now debate the war itself. Who has the upper hand?
Well, statistically speaking, The British have the upper hand. They have more ships, more soldiers, and more experience in warfare. However, the American people are resilient and are fighting for a cause.
It matters not. We will overtake this foul land with sheer numbers and military might. The British Empire is the most powerful the world has ever seen. A ragtag team of yelling colonist scum stands no chance.
That's where you're wrong. We know the land. We have no central nerve center you can take out with one swift attack. We don't have to ship shoulders over miles of treacherous sea. We will call upon Britain's many enemies for assistance. Your pride may be your downfall.
You lost at Lexington and you will lose it after the war. It will not be known as the American Revolution, but the American Massacre.
We shall see, Mr. Greenville.
And that concludes the debate between Son of Liberty Samuel Adams and Prime Minister George Grenville. Tune in next week for a debate between George Washington and King George III.
1973. It appears that they...
No,
Oh, I thought it.
Oh.